Okay guys, so in this video I'm going to tell you how I made the most out of Queen Mary 2 in just 4 nights. Now in October of 2014 it was my first ever time going on the ship itself. I went with my brother and my dad and we stayed in a Britannia stateroom. Now I wanted to make the complete most out of being on the ship, so the only way I could do that was by doing what I call a guided plan. Give me something sort of to guide me around the ship as I'm on it, so I'm getting the most out of all of the facilities and I get the most out of eating all the places that you can eat. Now I'll pop up here the guided plan itself so you can have a look at it for yourself. Now the way I started this guided plan was I had a look at all the deck plans of the ship. Now deck plans you can either look at in a brochure or you can get them online, and I might flick up a few deck plans here as I speak about it. Now you want to look through the deck plans and you want to take note of the restaurants that you're able, well not just restaurants, the places that you can eat on board, the facilities you can use, for example swimming pool, possibly gym and stuff like that. And you just want to get to know the decks themselves. Now obviously on my plan, ignore the top part because I kind of wrote that for the second voyage I went on, not just the first, but I printed this one off because it's so similar to the first one I've done. Now the places on board, now that was all the places that I wanted to go and see. As obviously in 2014 the Corinthia Lounge wasn't in there, it was the Winter Garden at that specific time, and that's why this is kind of changed, because this plan came out after the ship been in for a mastering. Now obviously I put all the places down that I'd like to go into, things to get sorted out on board, that's optionalised. When I say things to get sorted out once you're on board, one of the things that you really ought to do is note down, is there any certain things that you have to go to the purser's desk for, or something you might have to go to a certain area of the ship, for example like the spa and get a spa day pass, or if you want to book yourself a spa appointment for a massage or something. That's the sort of things you should put on, like things to sort out once you're on board. The ultra gratuity thing, I remove it because it's personal preference. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I do it myself. Now when it comes down to the part where it says like Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday, those were the days that we were on the ship. The Saturday was the sea day, and the Sunday and the Monday, they were both port days. Now the way I've written it out, I've tried to include different areas of the ship on different days so that we got the most out of being on the ship. On the Friday, which was the embarkation day, it's more or less just an afternoon, so it's not a lot of time to get yourself around the ship all in one go. So you're just browsing around the ship sort of. So obviously I just put board the Queen Mary 2, attend the muster drill, which is illegal maritime law, and then just look around, just have a browse around, taking your surroundings. Don't worry about if you get lost, make sure you've got a map on yourself, or ask a member of staff where you are, and just sort of go around. Now dinner I put King's Court. Now I definitely recommend, especially for QM2, you could probably put this across to the Elizabeth and Victoria. It'd be a similar type of plan. Well, I don't know if it'd be similar, but it might be similar. When it comes to dining, first ever night on the Queen Mary 2, if you're a newbie to it, I wouldn't recommend the Britannia restaurant. It's totally up to yourself what you do, but I wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend the King's Court because it's more relaxed. You haven't got to rush so much in the evening, you can take your time. That's the reason I'd recommend the King's Court for the first night. Obviously with Elizabeth and Victoria, they're Lido restaurants. Now our Saturday was a sea day. I decided to put breakfast in both Britannia Restaurant and King's Court. Now the reason I done this was the fact that I could either switch it around if I changed my mind. For example, the Sunday I could have put Britannia breakfast in there instead of King's Court. Now the reason I sort of selected either was so I could either change my mind or do one specifically, because obviously the Britannia Restaurant does breakfast in the mornings as well as the King's Court. There's not a lot of people, some people don't actually realise that. I didn't realise it myself before we done the voyage, that the Britannia Restaurant does breakfast in the mornings, and it does tend to be very, very popular. But yeah, obviously I put things like pavilion pool, morning before noon, so give us an idea when we're going to have a little go in the pool. Lunch, King's Court, and also take a look at the Corinthia Lounge. Obviously, before the remastering it was Winter Garden. After the remastering it's now called the Corinthia Lounge, and they do some little nibbles in there. Afternoon tea in the Queen's Room. The only biggest recommendation I can give you for that is get there bloody early. Don't leave it late. Afternoon tea is normally 3:30 to 4:30, so I'd always recommend people getting there for at least 10 to 3 to 3 o'clock, because you will get a massive queue out there. It's a popular event to go into. Dinner, obviously Britannia Restaurant in the evening, followed by an evening show in the Royal Court Theatre. That is kind of your sea day. Well, if you've got a sea day, that's kind of sort of thing we done. Now on the Sunday when we were on it, obviously we would have gone in the King's Court. We went in the Canyon Ranch Spa. Lunch Golden Lion. Afternoon coffee and cake in Sir Samuel's, which I can't remember if we actually done it that way round. And dinner in King's Court in the evening. Obviously, as you can see, we done dinner in the Britannia Restaurant on the Saturday, and Sunday was dinner in the King's Court, so we got to eat out of both areas. And then Monday, breakfast in the King's Court, lunch in the Britannia Restaurant. So as you can see, we've had dinner in the King's Court, sorry. We've had dinner in the Britannia Restaurant, we've had breakfast in the Britannia Restaurant, and lunch in the Britannia Restaurant. So as much as you're in the same restaurant, you're having different courses throughout the different days, so you're getting experience of service at different times of day. Because in the evening, the waiters and waitresses, they are in black, but during the daytime they're in white, so that gives you a little bit more different atmosphere. I start another pavilion pool on the Monday midday, Sir Samuel's coffee and cake in the afternoon, followed by just in another Britannia Restaurant just to eat in there again. With the plan, it's all about trying to put either the food venues or the places you want to go in specific days and sort of space them out. As I said, same thing with dining in the Britannia Restaurant for either breakfast, dinner or lunch. You've got the King's Court as well. That practically does all day. So you're talking really early morning breakfast from as early as 4 o'clock in the morning to all the way to lunch, and then you got afternoon tea. The King's Court does afternoon tea, and then you got dinner in there, late night snacks, all the way through to about, I think it's 2 in the morning, but I might be wrong on that one. I'll have to double check that one. But it's pretty much all day you can eat in there, all the time. But as I say, you're to get the most out of dining in those areas, you have to sort of think about, alright, when do I want to have lunch in this place? When do I want to have lunch in that place? Obviously, like eating in the Golden Lion, you can have a pub lunch in there. So you're trying to work out when can you have a lunch in the Britannia Restaurant, when could you have a lunch in the Golden Lion, and when could you have lunch in the King's Court. So you're moving yourself around. The hardest part would be if you wanted to go in a speciality restaurant, you've then got to add that one bit. There is an extra cover charge for the speciality restaurant. One of the reasons why I've never gone in there, because I'm not paying extra, and the food isn't it's not my taste, so I've always left it out. It's really up to your own personal opinion and what you want to do on that one. But it does help you get the most out of all the areas of the ship. It's like you wouldn't have, for example, like fish and chips that you can have in the Golden Lion, you might not necessarily have in the Britannia restaurant because they wouldn't do them in there. But you could have it in the Golden Lion. It's that sort of pub atmosphere. But with the way I've tried to write out, I've tried to get the most out of being on the ship for 4 nights, getting around the ship itself, and trying to make it more enjoyable. You could, in a way, because obviously certain locations on the ship are going to be differently named, because obviously the Elizabeth and the Victoria have Lido restaurants, whereas Queen Mary 2 has the King's Court, which is really interesting actually. I'm very, very surprised that they've never called them King's Court on the Victoria and Elizabeth, but then again they are cruise ships and not an ocean liner like the QM2. That could be a completely different debate with many people calling the Queen Mary 2 a cruise ship when she's not. But yeah, you could sort of put some of this across to, if you say for example you were going to go on the Elizabeth or Victoria, the way of doing that. Okay, so what I've done, I've only just remembered I'd done this. I printed out a guided plan that I'd done for some friends of ours that actually were going to go on, went on the Queen Elizabeth. I think they're actually planned to go on the Victoria next year. I'll flick that up here. Now, they were only on the Elizabeth for 3 nights. They went to Zeebrugge and they also had a sea day as well. Now, I won't lie, this plan was a little bit more tricky to work out because 3 nights is a very short period of time to get the most out of being on the ship. But as you can see, I done it kind of similar to the way I done my one for QM2, places on board to visit like Grand Lobby, Royal Arcade, Commodore Club, Royal Spa, the Golden Lion Pub, Golden Lounge, Corinthia, Cafe Corinthia and the Queen's Room. So it's very similar in that aspect. Things to get sorted out once on board, like ultra gratuity, purchase the day spa, that can be done on the day of using the spa if you want to, or the day before when you're bored. Well, either the day you're bored or the day in which you want to use it. Obviously they had a Saturday, Sunday and a Monday voyage, so the way I tried to say it for them is they could board the ship, obviously attend the muster drill. I recommended obviously dinner in the Lido restaurant just for the first night, just to let themselves relax into the ship, followed by if they wanted to go on the Royal Court Theatre and see a show. The Sunday was they had a sea day, and the way I sort of tried to work it out the best for them to get the most out of the ship, I said, well, you could have breakfast in the Britannia restaurant, followed by going in the Royal Spa, lunch in the Golden Lion, afternoon tea in the Queen's Room. Obviously I put arrive by 2:45 because I wasn't 100% sure the way it runs with the Queen's Room on Queen Victoria and Elizabeth, because it's different. They're set out differently to the way it is on the Queen Mary 2. Dinner in the Britannia restaurant in the evening, followed by Royal Court Theatre. And then there's a Zeebrugge day. I had to set out, the way I set out this plan was because they went off the ship to Bruges for the actual day, so they didn't stay on the ship. So I just said breakfast in the Lido restaurant, obviously off ship for the tour, and dinner in the evening Lido the Britannia restaurant. So it's kind of similar to the one I done for the QM2 with a kind of few differences. It was kind of hard to fit all of what they would want to experience into 3 nights, because that is really a short period of time. But as I say, if you plan, actually whether you're a returning person, you could plan out what you're going to do each day, so it gives you an idea, apart from looking in the newspaper and saying, oh, that is on. Yeah, you can plan for it. let me know, guys. What do you think about doing a plan for it? Especially, actually, if you're a new person, what would you think about if you haven't been on Queen Mary 2 or Elizabeth or Victoria, or even if you haven't been on a cruise, you could probably nick some of these ideas and use them for going on any other ship. Because in the way of doing it, all I've done is I've looked at the deck plans, I've tried to understand the deck plans and how they work out, and then I just take the facilities with the dining areas and the places I want to go and look at on board, and then just try to fit them all into different parts of the day on each day, so I get to go to them all. Let me know what you guys think. Put it in the comments below. Give the video like a thumbs up if you've enjoyed watching it or if it helps you out. I don't want to keep this video going on for too much longer because there's only so much I can put into it. Share the video around if you want to, for anyone that might, if yourselves a newbie, if you know somebody else that hasn't been on a ship before and they would like some advice on how to plan it, share it to them. But let me know yourself what you think. For people that have written reviews like on TripAdvisor saying we struggled to get around the Queen Mary 2 even in 7 nights, that's probably because they haven't really, all they've gone by is the newspaper on board, which obviously, yeah, it gives you things that you can do throughout the day, but if there's nothing that particularly interests you on the paper, on the daily paper, you kind of thinking, oh well, what do I do now? If you want something to do, thinking, oh, where should I eat lunch today? It gives you some sort of idea, especially if you sort of gone blank in the morning and you don't want to think about it. But yeah, that's the way I've done the guided plan for 2014. I hadn't done one since after we've done the remastering. That was the only one I've done for September. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Put a comment below. Like this video if you think it's good. Subscribe to my channel for more videos. And at this point I am at, well, at the moment of recording this video, I'm at 31 subscribers total. So thank you to all you guys that have subscribed to my videos. I'm going to try and put more up during the year. I have 2 nights on the Queen Mary 2 in May. That's going to be an interesting video because we're in an inside stateroom for the first ever time. I've not stayed in an inside stateroom. So for 2 nights it should be very interesting. It's also going to be interesting to see what the service is like on board, because since September it wasn't that great. But yeah, actually I probably might be able to talk about that in another video. But yeah, let me know guys what you thought about this. If there's any questions regarding how to plan for certain things or anything else that you might know, put it in the comments below. Let me know and I will see you in my next video, and thank you very much for watching this one. See you later guys.